everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed Ipswich Town 0, Oxford United 1. A very, very bad day for Ipswich. A sucker punch goal just before half time, and Town running out of ideas totally in the second half, resulting in an injury time red card for striker Caden Jackson, just days after James Norwood has gone for an operation. And for maybe the first time, a bit of a turn against Paul Lambert. Lots of booing and a fair few choice comments directed in Mr. Lambert's direction. I have not checked the other scores, but Ipswich were already out of the playoff picture, and I'm sure other teams have picked up points today as well. Here's how it unfolded. Ipswich unchanged, so a 3-5-2. Holly in goal, Wolfenden, Chambers, Earl are the three centre backs. Edwards right wing back, Garbutt left wing back. You've got Downs and Nolan sitting in the central midfield, with Judge in the 10 position and Caden Jackson and Will Keane up front. As I said, James Norwood now out for a fair wee while, gone for an operation. Oxford one change from their 5-0 victory against AFC Wimbledon, and that changes in midfield. So the back five unchanged. Eastwood in goal, Ford, Dickey, Moore, Ruffles are the back four. Here's where the change is, because Gorin is going to come in as the deep line playmaker, which switches Brannigan just to his right, and Brown stays in the left central midfield spot. The wingers are Henry down the right and Holland down the left. Matty Taylor is the number 9 up top. Ipswich start the day 7th. Oxford start the day 10th. Big Oxford following as well. We get this a lot at Portman Road, one of the largest stadiums in League One. Half term, 19,000 in the ground and nigh on 2,000, I think, away supporters too. Off we go. Jackson down the right on 2 minutes. Low cross palmed away by Eastwood. Jackson again on 8 minutes doing well. He robs Moore. He's down the right again. Can't quite find Will Keane with the cross. Wolfenden with a 25-yarder on 14. Blocked out. Ipswich winning the territory as Judge starts to get more involved around 15. We get the first Oxford threat on 20. They're looking for the holes behind the wing backs. I've seen Oxford play before. Want to play through the playmaker. Did not manage to do that today, but hit the channels nicely and trying to exploit that space that's always there when you're playing three. At the back 21, it's a chance. Wolfenden puts Jackson away, cuts it back. Garbutt's arriving. He's across from left wing back. He's got to hit this one with his right foot though, and he puts it over the top. First good opening of the game. That one, Edwards foul on Holland. Dangerous free kick. Brown blazes that over the bar. Ipswich the better side for the first quarter. On 25, Downs wins a free kick. Garbutt is flicked on by Chambers. No one's there at the back post. Game starts to peter out a little bit coming out to half hour. Oxford struggling to get Gorin on the ball, as I say, trying to play the channels. Ipswich with the ball, but only one real clear-cut chance. Not too high on quality around the half hour mark. Judge corner loops up here. Chambers heads that one. Goalwards blocked out for another one. Garbutt this time's a bit ugly, breaks to Keane, but he gets snuffed out. No real chance to pull the trigger there. Keane down the right this time. Touch and cross by him. Downs onto the near post. He's going to try and run over it and backheel it. Not enough pace on that at all to trouble Eastwood. Ipswich on top again. Garbutt corner. Keane climbs. Free header wide. I was up the other end. That looked like a reasonable chance for Keane. 36 now, a bit of end-to-end stuff. Forward to Henry. He's into the box. Blocked out at the other end. Jackson again, excellent run in the channels. This time the left-hand side crosses for Nolan arriving, but his shot is blocked from the edge of the box. Oxford counter again. And Luke Garbutt gets probably the lamest yellow card I've ever seen, because he tries to make a tactical foul, doesn't bring the guy down, but then still gets pulled up for the yellow for the attempted foul play, I guess. More even that last 5 minutes. Oxford coming out a little bit. 40 Keane off to Nolan here, low and well wide. Henry with a long ranger on 42. Holly handles that one fine, but given all of that, Ipswich with most of the territory, most of the ball, most of the chances, half chances. Here comes a big chance and a goal. It's going to go to Oxford, and the one incisive bit of passing, the one example of composure in the penalty box, maybe from 3 players, and it's Oxford that string it together and get that sucker punch goal. It's a good goal, actually. Ruffles, first of all, from fullback with a good pass to break the lines into Brannigan. Brannigan smells blood. He turns and he pulls away, drives, commits defenders, sucks them out. He then plays it wide to Henry, the right winger. So good composure from Brannigan. Now good composure to Henry. He's going to engage his man. He's not just going to get it out of his feet and blast it. He puts it across. Taylor has found the space. And again, good composure. Taylor doesn't swing at it. It's a touch. He's really close in. He's hot favourite. It's a big chance, and he puts it past Thomas Holly. In goal on 43. Good move. 1-0 Oxford. And that really was a dagger through the heart of Ipswich, because as soon as the context changed, that really knocked Ipswich for 6. That goal, half time. We come out, no changes, second half. Early corner. Ipswich actually start this half quite well. Quick one to Judge onto Garbett, should I say, into the box. Wolfenden half volleys that one over. Another Garbett corner here. Earls up, it's tipped over by Eastwood. Garbett again in swinger. Out to Judge, but he blasts over. And really, that 5 minutes and that 3 corners after half time is the best it's going to get, sadly, from an Ipswich point of view. Here comes Ford for Oxford down the right. Cut back to Brannigan. Hits it first time. He is blocked out here. Earl gets forward, helping out from centre-back. Edwards is arriving on Earl's cross. I don't think Edwards expects to get this. The last guy just goes over his head, and he ends up sort of thighing it through to the keeper when well positioned. Frustration starting to get the better of Ipswich now, and it's blindingly obvious to everyone in the stadium that Dickey and Moore, the Oxford centre-halves, are winning everything in the air, and the aerial battle is not one that Ipswich are going to win, yet they keep putting Keane and Jackson in these positions. And then, of course, the crowd are starting to get frustrated with Keane and Jackson. My argument is, what you're going to do if you're not good in the air, you're not good in the air. And playing into Oxford hands now. 59, Wolfenden a little bit messy here. Holland gets onto it and bashes this one over. And on the hour mark, probably the biggest chance of the half falls to Oxford here. It's a big boot forward by Dickey. We know it's windy, but Taylor's too good for Chambers running off him. He gets in behind Holly, closes down well, but probably does class as a 1v1 for Taylor. And as I say, biggest chance of the second half for either team. Garbett's in behind. Nolan plays him in. Good overload for once. He can't find the cross here. Oxford team shape very good. Midfield 3, dropping back into defensive positions. Well, Brown takes a yellow on 63 on Guion. Edwards. Ipswich starting to get more and more direct. The passing is not happening through midfield. I say they're not sticking to their principles, but this has been the complaint this season. We don't know what the principles are. Are they a direct team? Are they a passing team? We're not sure still after all of these games this season. Here comes Sykes for Holland. Carl Robinson freshening it up. Handbags from the corner here. Chambers and Taylor, they should both know better here. Chambers, I think, trying to take a free kick from the wrong position. Taylor moving it back. Yada, yada, yada. Bishop comes on for Edwards. So here's the substitution. Remember, Lambert's only got Freddie Sears on the bench, excuse me. And this is a game where the long ball's not working. Sears is not a tall player, so he tries to bring in Bishop. There would have been the option to bring in Sears, I guess, and drop Keane into the number 10 position. He could have gone 4-3-3, but he elects to go 4-4-2. With Wolfenden going to right back, so he's now out of position. Garbett going to left back. Judge going to right wing, so arguably he's out of position. Bishop's going to left wing, so arguably he's out of position. And Nolan and Downs in the central midfield. Shouldn't be too bad. Downs tends to carry other central midfielders in a midfield too. But of all the solutions Lambert could have gone for, that does leave a few round pegs in square, triangular pegs in round holes, you know what I'm saying. Oxford, they're managing this well though. They're frustrating Ipswich. Their team shape is decent, wide players, Just dropping back now, more 4-5-1-ish from them. But frankly, why do they need to attack? They've got the lead, forcing Ipswich into long balls. Ipswich not having the answers. Who's going to drop deep? Who's going to find the pocket? Who's going to find the pass? The answer is nobody. It's going up long to Keane and Jackson, and Dickie and Moore are licking their lips and heading everything away. Here comes Jamie Mackey for Taylor. Taylor did his job up front, got the goal, didn't he? Created that other big chance. Agay comes in on 82 for Henry to play down that right-hand side. Brown over from the corner. Ipswich just not creating any chances at all. And it's one of those games where 15 minutes from the end you say, look, they've lost it. They're running, but there's no spark here. What you want is either someone to hit and move you up the pitch, someone to come back and get hold of the ball and dictate the play. Just did not have it anywhere. Much to the frustration of the Ipswich fans, Sears comes on 90 minutes for Judge here. Too little, too late, really. And when you think it can't get much worse with your James Norwood gone off for an operation, Caden Jackson is red carded. I must admit I was the other side, and I may have my blue tinted spectacles on here, but I didn't really see what it was for. He goes in on Dickie. We've heard since it's a stamp. Dickie seems very unhappy when it's pulled up. Ref seems to go over and take advice from the linesman and quickly pulls out the red card. So the linesman has obviously seen a stamp there. Look, I'm not Arsene Wenger in it. If he's stamped and it's serious foul play or violent conduct, then yes, it's a red card. But I need to watch it back. I've not seen it, so I will plead the fifth on that. And if it's a red card, it's a red card. And if it's not, it's not. But it's bad news for Ipswich now. Good news for Freddie Sears though, because he's probably going to get a 3-game run up front if it's violent conduct or serious foul play. A bit of handbags. Wolf takes a yellow. Wolfenden on 93, and that is all she wrote. A very disappointing afternoon. Ipswich did not play badly in the first half. They had the majority of the possession. They lacked a bit composure. I thought Jackson looked strong when he was running the channels and put crosses in. Judge flitted in and out, but around the 15-20 minute mark he was involved and he was doing bits. A couple of times centre halves came forward, but it's a mentality thing here. Oxford score that goal and it just really crushed Ipswich. I say it's a mentality thing. I'll also hark what I always say on the Blue Monday podcast. It's a pattern of play thing. When you go a goal down and a team has kind of sucker punched you a bit, full credit to Oxford for the win, but at the time they scored, it was a bit of a sucker punch just before half time. You want to keep your composure and you want to keep to what you know, keep the ball moving and keep to your plan. And yeah, it just wasn't there in the second half for Ipswich. It got more and more direct, more and more scrappy. Oxford now at 1-0 have a game to manage. The context is very different and Ipswich get very scrappy, get very nervous, and Oxford kind of grow an inch taller and the centre halves head everything away. They keep things nice and organised. They force the best chance of the game in the second half, and on the basis of the second half it's a deserved win for Oxford. I just feel if Ipswich mentality is right and they stick to what they're doing in the first half, they can get something out of this game. But poor mentality, poor performance from Ipswich in the second half. Look, I can sit here with 20/20 hindsight and say the substitution is poor because I know the substitution did not work. As I say, it could have gone many ways. They could have gone 4-3-3, could have gone 4-2-3-1 in some shape, form or fashion. What it needed was, it was so obvious that the direct style wasn't working. So you can go 4-3-3 and play the channels. You can go 4-2-3-1 and try and play into the 3 guys off the front. 4-4-2 and playing direct did not work, and Bishop and Judge locked out and lost in the wide positions with the ball just going direct, nothing to play off. Garbett, the threat, is now quelled because he's gone and played fullback. So look, I'm not a highly paid football manager, but I can easily say with hindsight after the event that that substitution and that switch of shape did not work for Paul Lambert today. He's got choice to make now going into the next games without Caden Jackson. Does he use this as a chance to change shape? Does he stick with 3-5-2? Remember, for goodness sake, we were complaining in the winter that the system and the shape changed. Does he stick with the 3-5-2? Look, I don't know the answers. What I do know is today, when Ipswich went a goal down and when they were chasing in the second half, they had no pattern of play. They lost their composure. Their mentality did not get them through the game, and Oxford managed it much better with that goal lead than Ipswich managed the second half. From an Oxford point of view, yeah, rode out the times in the first half when Ipswich were on top. Nice goal, and managed the second half really well. And you say decent away performance. You take the goal, you defend, and they had the best chance in the second half. So I say well played to Oxford. You come away saying, yeah, they're good value for it on the basis of that second half and the context of the game, defending the 1-0 lead. So Oxford, they started in 10th. I know their maximum upside was 8th today, but obviously they're trying to manage without the loss of Baptiste and Fosu, who both went to Brentford. So I say good job to Oxford, and good luck to them for the rest of the season. They seem to be very clear in what they're doing with their 4-3-3, the playmaker, the wide guys and the focal point up top. So good luck to Oxford going through the rest of the season. From an Ipswich point of view, noticeable, little bit toxic. I know we don't like the word at the end of the game. Little bit of booing, lots of ire towards Lambert, lots of ire towards Will Keane. I don't buy that a tall player should automatically be good in the air. You're either good in the air or you're not. You're either stronger than the guys you're playing against or you're not. I felt that a lot more culpable were the guys booting the ball down to Keane. You know, who's coming and getting the ball, who's finding the half space, who's putting the pressure on, who's taking the fight when these balls are just being booted down the pitch. But I take the comment that Ipswich don't have, in the absence of Norwood, that bustly unit, focal point, whatever you want to call it, up top. Disappointing day for Ipswich. We've pinned our hopes as Ipswich fans on the fact that lots of games are at home between now and the end of the season. If you're going to lose them, it doesn't matter. And from automatic down to playoffs, down to out of the playoffs, it looks like something needs to pick up for Town to get back up in there. Look, I have spoken enough today. Disappointing day for Town. Didn't manage the second half well enough. Poor mentality, poor strategy, and a lack of philosophy to go back to and keep trotting out when the chips were down. Decent away performance by Oxford, good away win for them. Get your comments in if you're a Town fan on any of that, if you're an Oxford fan. Let me know what you think. I know emotions run high, so if you do disagree with me, let's keep it polite. Lots of stuff in social media today. I'm just a football fan commenting. I don't need to be abused for my opinion, so we love to have a good discourse in the comments, but if you abuse me, I will block you. We don't need any of that. Let's keep the comments nice and sensible. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. And if you want to support monetarily, I do this for fun. But I do have a patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Would love to do this for a living one day. If you think I don't talk a load of rubbish and I could do it, then do support me there. Thank you very much for watching. It was Ipswich 0, Oxford 1. Bad day for Town. See you soon.